for the first time exclusively to News 3 what his sister wants the community to know about the man shot and killed by Madison police.
He was a neighbor in the wrong house in the middle of the night, shot 3 times by a Madison police officer. And while the investigation is ongoing, the family is hoping for answers sooner than later. Good evening, I'm Andy Choi.
And I'm Jennifer Hoff. Paul Heenan's family want the officer fired and are questioning how police have released information. They reached out only to News 3 Charlotte DeLeste, asking her to get their side of the story out.
36 days after her brother, Paul Heenan, died from 3 bullets fired by a Madison police officer, Emily Heenan is speaking publicly for the first time from her home in North Carolina.
You know, this could have happened to anyone. But it happened to my brother. I'll never be able to look at a police officer the same again.
Emily is driven to share her concerns about the case with the entire community, specifically with Police Chief Noble Ray and District Attorney Ishmael Ozane. News 3 has obtained the letter Emily wrote the 2 city leaders on December 6th. In it, Paul's sister writes, "The lack of transparent facts in the case represents a problem for our community." She points out it took the police department several days, 4 in fact, to confirm Paul was not a burglar, but a neighbor in the wrong house, despite that fact being known by the first officers on the scene.
The time that it took to clear his name should give all of us a cause for reflection. We want an honest and forthcoming police department, not one that manipulates the release of facts in order to protect its public image.
The incident happened early Friday morning, November 9th. It wasn't until Monday that police first answered any media questions. Chief Ray laid out what he called a deadly force situation. Madison police officer Stephen Heimsness saw 2 men grappling and struggling and thought the homeowner was struggling with a burglar. The officer said he ordered both to the ground. The homeowner dropped. Heenan did not. Heimsness says Heenan grabbed him and reached for his gun. He pulled the trigger 3 times, all the shots hitting Heenan, killing him.
He should be fired.
The report came out that your brother was drunk and entered a neighbor's home. When you heard the story that he went for the officer's gun,
I didn't believe it. There's no way. There's no way he could have gone for a gun. He hated guns. He was afraid of guns. He was scared of guns. I'm sure he was drunk, but it's so hard. A lot of people get drunk in Madison. I was a UW student. I saw how people can get drunk downtown and stumble home. And people will stumble around and be confused and stupid and drunk, but they don't get shot. They don't get shot by police officers. But they could. It could have been anybody.
In her letter, Emily urges the community to ask the tough questions. Does the MPD have a clean record in using lethal force, or do the powers that be just have a policy of giving the police officers involved the benefit of the doubt?
I hope the community will never forget this. And I hope that they will remember this every time that they have to call the police.
For now, Emily wants people to remember Paul Heenan as kind and gentle and vows to keep fighting for her brother's name.
if you could talk to Paul one more time, what would you say?
I would tell him that I love him. And I would tell him that I'm going to be strong. And I will be strong. And I will get the truth out about this. And I won't let him down.
Charlotte joins us now with more on her conversation with Paul Heenan's family.
Charlotte also got to talk face-to-face with his parents. Can you describe how they're feeling now?
Well, really, just like you would expect. They are grieving, and it is enormous. They are very angry, they're frustrated, they're confused. They're really in their own personal hell, and quite frankly, they want their son back. But they're not going to get him back. So the next best thing, they want answers to the many questions they have regarding what happened that very early morning.
So what does Emily, Paul's sister, hope to accomplish through all of this?
Well, first and foremost, she just wants people to not forget what happened. She wants to see changes. She wants to know how the trust can be rebuilt between the community and the Madison Police Department. And she wants everyone to read her letter.
All right, Charlotte, thank you for sharing that.
And if you'd like to read that letter, head to our website, channel3000.com. We've posted it up there in our news link section tonight.
And we reached out to Dane County DA Ishmael Ozan by phone this evening. He told News 3 he has not seen this letter, but even if he had, he says he could not comment on an open investigation. The DA has yet to decide if he will clear Officer Heimsness of any wrongdoing in that shooting. We also tried to reach Madison Police for comment, but they didn't return our calls or emails tonight.